Navneet, thank you very much for giving us time because it's very important. Why? Because there are many students like you who are taking coaching from us, but
Mhm.
somehow they are not getting 79. That means somehow like they're missing 3, 4, 5 marks.
Yep.
But the way I saw you, the way you practiced, I really appreciated at that time. I really appreciate, and I think like I should spread your style of practicing to everyone, that okay, how one person should practice within a stipulated time, like given time. First question is, tell me your experience, how the journey was, whether you enjoyed the journey with us, whether you are happy, whatever in your mind, just for the others who will be watching this, for the students, they can understand that how the journey was for Navneet.
So from the very first day, Hafiz, you've guided me really well. And the best thing, what I think, is that in the classes, you explain each and every task, the key points. And if you might have noticed, I always took notes about that. That's really important for anyone. You should understand what every question demands and what you need to put in that question. Each and every question, you need to understand it very clearly. Then for practice, you have the portal. That's perfect place for practice. Like it's got thousands of questions. And I focus mostly on exam and predict questions. And once I was done and I was confident with that question type or a section, then I went to a mock test. So I quickly realized that it's better for me to give a complete mock. It might not be the case for everyone, but I felt comfortable doing separate parts. So I started doing full mocks, and the team was very, very helpful with that as well. I think I've used so many mock tests, and you've provided me with them like, yeah, timely every time. So yeah, that has definitely helped, because mock test is what you will face in the exam, not just one question, then another question for the same type. So it's very different. So I think for a good score, you need to do full mock test. But if you're preparing, if you're just starting, start with questions. When you feel comfortable with them, go with section mock tests. And then when you're comfortable with section mock test, go with the full mock test. And when you think that you can do full mock test, stop practicing single questions. Analyze your full mock test result. If you think you lack on a particular part or question, then practice that question the next day. And the day after, go again with the full mock test and then analyze your results again. It's very important to see what you have written or hear what you have spoken.
Okay, thank you very much, Navneet. Whatever I understood, that first, the most important task is understanding. So everyone should understand everything from the very beginning, so that they can practice immediately. That whatever I understood, I can practice and I can check. And one thing you said that I really like, that is called analyzing. Most of the students, what they do, they're depending on this kind of portal, that we have our portal, but portal is not everything, because it is something is giving you a hint that whether you are prepared or not. But if you don't understand your own mistakes, you cannot do better in the PT examination. Yeah. So say the day one you came and you started practicing, did you think the way we are supporting you, was it helpful for you to get prepared for your PT preparation?
100%. It was very helpful.
Okay.
The way you give the class, and then, you recommend that you should go home and practice. Then it's up to the person if he's going to practice. But that's the thing, you attend the class. Now you know each and every question, what it demands. Go back home, try those set of questions, whatever section you did today, at least try that section and do all its questions. And if you feel comfortable, for maybe you have classes 4 days a week. So the first week you should try and perform the questions that are taught in the class, individual questions on the practice portal. And then maybe on the next 3 days, you can first give a sectional mock test for each of them on the first week. If not, you don't feel comfortable in the first week, maybe you should still continue with the practice of individual questions. But that's, I would say, like if you're doing on 4 days and you don't have enough time. So if you do reading today, you can give a reading section mock today or just practice reading question. Whereas if you get a time on weekend, you should at that time give mock test. But I believe that mock tests are very important. Yeah. And like just you said, it's very, very important to see what you have written, see what mistakes you have done, because I understood in some time, it took me 1 or 2 weeks to understand that the portal might not be very good scoring platform. Any portal. I
Yeah.
also tried other portals as well. So
Yeah.
my friends had access to. So I gave mock test on AAP Uni. I gave mock test on other platforms as well, other coaching platforms. And I realized that it's like all of them are mostly the same. It's not
Yeah.
much of difference.
Yeah.
And we need to analyze where we are wrong. They give you a direction where you are wrong, but they can't score you correctly for how wrong you are.
Yes. So I
Yeah.
can think like that. This is some kind of, they will show you some indicators that, okay, this is the area you have to work.
exactly. Yeah. They'll
Yes.
give you the direction. Okay, here you are going wrong. How much they can't figure it out accurately. They'll give you, okay, your pronunciation is going wrong. You should believe that. Obviously, if it's saying your pronunciation is wrong, if your fluency it's saying that it's wrong again and again, then it's probably wrong. You need to analyze that, and definitely you can help it out. Like I used to ask you a lot of questions because, okay, so what's the problem in my response here?
So you got 90 in all sections. We call it, it's a super score, perfect 90. I'm really happy. I'm really happy because we have got many 90s for the last 9 years. But when a person got 90, I always ask one question: that did you think that you should get 90 at the whenever you will be practicing, like I know that you're targeting 79, but you got 90. Now, could you please tell me the top 3 areas that you think that those are the change maker that actually help you to get 90 in all modules? Top 3 from your own idea or what perceptions?
Top 3 things. So number 1 is fluency in speaking. You don't fumble, you don't stop. You give pause, you give stress a little bit here and there, like where it's required, but you don't fumble and you don't stop in between. If even if you think you went wrong, just so it happened with me in repeat sentence. In one of the sentence, I messed up really bad.
Yeah.
It was a big one. I remembered half of it. After I said the half, I just skipped next. I spoke whatever I spoke fluently, and then I skipped it.
Yeah.
So I think it's important in all the speaking questions that you speak very fluently and pronounce words clearly, even if it's wrong content.
Yeah.
It's important because otherwise it'll be counted as mistake.
Yeah.
And then the other is writing. So if you might have noticed, I don't do any spelling mistakes. And that's because I proofread everything. I believe there's plenty of time. I would suggest that everyone should 100% proofread every single writing question, spelling, even the filling the blanks. You should proofread them as well. So
yes,
because
fill in the blanks and write from dictation.
Yeah, write from dictation. You have plenty of time there if you plan accordingly. So I proofread every single writing thing. So second is that.
Third is the understanding of the listening. Could you please tell something about that? Whenever you listen, that is retail lectures or summarize a spoken text, whatever, some people cannot understand. Like, they actually think that, okay, it's not in my domain. I can't understand what the speaker is saying. What actually you did? Because I found that whenever I played any audio or you have done any retail lectures or summarize a spoken text, the content picking was very good. Like, what was your strategy? Could you please share something so that it can be helpful for others?
What I try to do in retail lecture and summarize spoken text. In retail lecture, honestly, I won't say like I had a really good strategy for getting the content. What I focused on was whatever I thought was keywords. Like whenever the speaker is mentioning something crucial about the topic, for example, if he's mentioning a technology, he's mentioning words like creative, innovative, or a particular technology, or any adjective about it, about the technology, if the technology is being discussed,
like supporting points. You're talking about some supporting points. Yes, you're talking about that. If you missed any way, that to identify the topic is very important. So whenever you are identifying the topic, some sort of information you might not know, but if you focus more, you can get more supporting ideas and examples, supporting contents. They 100%. Can make then you can make up a good sentences or a couple of sentences that express the same thing, whatever the speaker said.
Yes. And in summarized spoken text, I believe it is very important for you to capture the main topic in summarized spoken text. I don't think in retail lecture it's that much important, but in summarized spoken text, I've been like helping my friend. So I told him that the first line that you write, the lecture was about this, that this is very important.
Yeah.
You need to capture that. So you don't have to capture it when the speaker is saying the first line. You start hearing the speaker. And what I did in summarized spoken text, I never wrote keywords. In summarized spoken text, I picked up sentences or phrases.
Yes.
which I thought were important. So
Yes.
whenever the speaker is talking about any topic, what I did, I excluded mostly examples. I wouldn't consider anything when they are talking about, for example, a survey was talking about. So when they're talking about the survey, they're talking about the survey, not the topic.
Yeah.
You should avoid the survey.
Yeah.
And for example, I don't need the example because I need to give only a big, like very small summary.
Yes. Yes.
Ignore the example and focus on whatever he says next.
Yeah.
And then quickly note that down. So,
Yes.
and after I've noted that down, there's a little bit of time. At that time, you can maybe quickly read it. There's plenty of time for you. What I did was in the last few sentences, whatever the speaker said, I'd take down last 2-3 sentences as I can call from my memory, because you have 10 minutes. There's plenty of time.
Yeah.
Keep writing whatever you can remember, even after he has finished speaking. Just go back and write like just after he's finished. What I did was I kept recalling from my mind what the speaker has mentioned. And then I went through those lines. And the first thing I did was analyze what the topic really was. Then I wrote the first line.
Yes, that's correct. Because you told that you are in summarize a spoken text. Most of the time, what you have done, you have taken sentences or phrases, that is chunk of the words.
Yes.
Like I have seen that many people ignored the importance of the chunk of the words or sentences. They just picked keywords, that is one word. So what they do, they actually make their own sentences using those keywords. That doesn't make sense, because in summarize a spoken text, you have to make it contextually. Contextually, you have to say the same thing what the speaker said. So I think that's a very, very good discussion that we have done. Now, Navneet, I know that whatever the strategies we shared in the classes, you actually observed it and you practiced it and you showed everything in your mock test. I checked personally. You have done the Pearson mock test. You are a little bit, upset because of the low score. I told no, you shouldn't be, because what was my goal to check? I just checked that one and it's okay. Now, in future, like, Navneet, I know that people are looking for PTE, like English language test, be it PTE or IELTS, for their visa purposes or study purposes. My straightforward question that as you are a successful student, in future, if anyone is coming to you and ask that, okay, if they want to join any coaching or training, would you like to recommend why?
100%. So I'd recommend you guys, because like I told you, the first thing I liked about you, like how you explained every single task. You're saying I observed it because you taught it really well. So I blindly followed every single advice you gave. You said, I need to do this task like this. I did it like this. I didn't look at any other YouTube video. I didn't look at any other course. I followed what you said, because obviously you're doing this coaching for so many years. If you do this, you can get 90 on 90. If you say it, I believe you. And if you believe something, it's already 50% done.
Yeah.
That's my thinking. If you believe in something, that's already done for you. Yeah. So I believe that if you're telling me, if I do like this, I'll get full. So I did that. I followed your advice 100%. And then I liked about is that you have all the required practice questions on the portal. You have the predict, and then you have the exam questions. I think that's more than enough for anyone to practice. You keep practicing the exam questions, and then you have the option to choose the difficult ones sometimes that are the long ones. I practice those as well. When you think you are fine with the small ones or the easier one, go for the tough ones, because that's what prepares you for the exam. You can't always expect that there are easier things in the exam. And then if you might have observed, I did the classes again and again, although I didn't require them, because I think it's important for you to memorize those things. Okay, this sentence is going to be from 8 to 14 words. And if I get half of it correct, I'll get 2 marks. I need to remember that. Because in the exam, you need to have that mindset.
Yes.
For each and every task, you need to know every single thing about that task. It is very important. That's why I attended the lectures again and again. And even it was mostly the same information, almost the same information, but I still learned something new every time I attended the lecture.
Yeah, so, I do understand, because I found that I always ask to myself that, okay, Navneet completed that lesson, and I think like he has done pretty good on the practice portal. Why he is attending that? Because everyone has their own, strategy of learning. So you have your own. I cannot actually adopt your one, but at the end of the day, whatever you are trying to say, that whenever I'm attending a classes, every time I'm learning something new. Why you're learning something new? Because of some other students are asking different questions that you might not know earlier. Right now,
Yeah.
you are understanding that
Yes.
this answer is like that. Okay, the way we are trying to support students, do you think that it's enough for everyone to get their desired score?
I think at the moment it's enough, but if your batch size increases, then you might need some more help.
Yeah, but the way our backend team is asking you, the way the support is providing, the way everything is operational, do you think that this is the way people can get the best support and services right now, the way we are providing?
I think
they
it's
can get
more than sufficient, but maybe you can do is you can ask students, ask more questions on the platform with the admin, or raise more queries, so they become more active from their side. I think
yes,
students sometimes lack that motivation,
yeah,
and if you give them that motivation, maybe that will help more. Because I never hesitated before messaging the admin,
yes,
and the
yes.
admin has always been helpful. Admin
Yeah.
never said no to anything. So you have to take the initiative. That's
Yeah.
on the student, and you can just do is like you can motivate them to take the initiative. That's what I can
Oh,
say.
great, great, great. Now, honestly speaking, that I believe that every time you have areas of improvements.
Yes.
I can't, you can't give me 10 out of 10. You have to give, there are some areas of improvements in every areas, like in your learning, in your teaching, in your, operating the organization. So if I ask you that, would you like to give a score out of 10, what will be your honest scoring and how much it can impact us?
Honestly, Hafiz, I can't give you anything less than 10 for me, because whatever I wanted, I got it.
Okay, okay.
Yes.
Any one sentence that you want to share with everyone, that any one sentence about one sentence that will show a gratitude you might want to share, or one sentence that can be helpful for others who are listening to you, or one sentence that can, it's a combination of saying some message for those students.
PTE provides you with everything you need for PTE, but you need to practice yourself.
Yeah, great, great.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Navneet. I am expecting that in future, someone will ask, like the way you call me, Supriya was our student and you came from her reference.
Yeah.
That means word of mouth is very strong for us.
Yeah.
Now you got 90 out of 90. I believe in future, someone will call me and ask, Hafiz, Navneet gave me your number and I'm trying to take PT coaching as soon as possible. Would you like to help? So I'm expecting that kind of support from you in future.
100%.
And we'll definitely keep in touch. So if you need anything else, please don't hesitate, call us. And I wish you all the best. I believe that you are very much serious in your task, whatever it's PT, whatever your job. I wish you all the best and be happy all the time. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Likewise. I hope your coaching grows and you have the full floor again.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Navneet. Thank you very much. It's nice talking to you. Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye.